Disappointed but not surprised. Disappointed but not surprised. Disappointed but not surprised.
Hey guys, welcome back to another week of The Fuckery. We're your disappointed but not surprised co-hosts. I'm Alex.
I'm Addie.
And this week we have another special guest on. This is our friend Amanda.
Hey guys.
Hey Amanda.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
So basically Amanda just wanted to come on and talk about some things she's needed to get off her chest for a while. So take it away.
All right. So basically, I've been in a relationship for 13 years.
Yikes.
And, you know, he was 14 when I met him. I was like 17, I want to say. It's right after my 16th birthday, I met him. So we were young. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to turn 18 and this kid is 14. Well, actually, when we first met, he told me he was 15, turning 16. So we're celebrating him. Basically.
So we're off to a great start.
And he had a full sweet 16 birthday party with fucking balloons and a magician, and it was really his 15th birthday. His fucking quinceañera.
So basically, he's 15, turning 16, as I think. And whatever, we're all hanging out. We're playing beer pong with all his friends, blah, blah, blah. So I'm hanging out outside with his friends, and he went inside for a second. So I go, okay. I was like, wow, I can't believe he's 16 already. So one of his friends were like, what? I'm like, yeah, he's 15. He just turned 16. So they look me dead in the face, and then they're like, he's 14, turning 15. So I'm like thinking to myself, are you kidding me? This kid just lied about his age for me to go out with him, or he didn't even ask me out himself. His friend did through text message.
Did he even have pubes at that
I was
point?
going to say, did his balls drop yet?
I don't even know.
He's going through puberty. His voice is cracking like, hi, Amanda.
He was like nervous that I would say no to him because apparently he never gets denied when asking a girl out. So I'm sitting in English class and his friend texts me. He goes, yeah, he wants to like know if you want to go out with him, be his girlfriend. So I'm like, okay, sitting in English class.
Did he leave you a note like prom, circle 1, yes or no?
So I'm like, I mean, yeah, sure. Like,
I guess.
whatever. Yeah. So whatever. So like I said, he's 15. I'm turning 18. And whatever, we're young and in love. This was my first serious relationship. Like I've been like with other people, but like one or two people actually before him. I don't want to say like a bunch of people, but we were young. Whatever.
Who's your 40th guy? No.
It was my like 105, number 105. No, but whatever. We were young. He was young. Obviously, he's still in high school. I just like graduated. He was in 11th grade at this point. So whatever, we go out to his friend's house. We're hanging out in the backyard, whatever. I'm like leaning over him, not thinking anything, like hugging him and stuff like that. And all of his friends were like being weird around me. So I was like, what the heck's going on? So I'm like, all right, thinking nothing of it. All of a sudden, I'm talking to these two girls that I was hanging out with that were in the friend group. And they were like, you haven't noticed his neck yet? So I'm like, no, what are you talking about? They're like, oh, I would go over to him, like, look at his neck or whatever. So I'm like, okay, thinking nothing of it. I'm like, whatever. This is like, whatever. I'm hanging out with his friends. I'm trying to have a good time. I'm like, at this point in love with this kid. So whatever, I go over and I lean over to him again. And then I see a hickey on his neck. And then I'm like, then this he's dark. Like, I'm like, for the amount like of hickey I seen, I'm like, this girl must have like sucked on his neck for about like a half hour or whatever. So whatever, I don't say anything to him at first. So we leave his friend's house. We're walking to like the school because like obviously at this point none of us are driving. We're walking places, and we finally get to the school that's around the block. And I end up saying something to him, and he was like, "Oh, don't make this a big deal. Like, some girl like just jumped on me and kissed my neck. It was nothing like that." I'm like, okay,
yeah, because
like,
that happens.
That happens. Like, stop it.
Like like I'm looking at this kid. I'm like, you really think I'm stupid that you could get your freaking dark? Like, she must have been sucking on your neck for about like an hour for you to get this hickey. Like, I've given him hickeys before and nothing has ever shown up. So I'm like, whatever. He's like thinking all this, like, oh, like it's nothing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So this was like the first month, like we started going out.
Off to a great start.
Off to a great start. I'm like,
But
all
you're
right.
so
like,
young at that point,
exactly.
too,
So I just
that,
brush
like,
it off. I'm like,
yeah.
whatever. I'm like, they're thinking nothing of it. So I'm like, we're going about our day or whatever.
And I feel like when you're that young, you're easily manipulated.
Of course.
I
Like, if
I
I
remember
was-
my relationship at 18. Oh my God, was I manipulated?
Right? Like they could say anything and you'd be like, oh, okay. Like, cause you're just so sheltered. You don't know. Now if one of my men came home with a hickey on his neck, I would literally like cut it out of his fucking skin.
Yeah, like now at this point, like grown, like if my like significant other came home with a hickey on his neck, I'd probably bash a fucking
Right, but when you're
bottle
18,
over
like
his head.
anything goes. It could be like you could
Exactly.
be like playing suck and blow in the fucking basement and get one at like 16 years old,
Exactly.
or at his age 14.
Oh my God.
It's just a hickey, man.
No big deal. She just sucked on my
jumped
neck.
on me out of nowhere, and I couldn't pull her off.
Yeah,
It's
it was a cheetah attack.
Exactly. So eventually I found out that he was hooking up with some girl at his school in the stairwell. So they were like hooking up. Obviously she was giving him hickeys and shit like that. So later on I found that out. I'm like, oh,
Stairwell,
great.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, the stairwell at the fucking high school.
It's
Like,
okay. I used to hook up with a guy in the band room around the trombones.
What that mouth do, Daddy?
Yeah, eighth period, he would come to the art class. I'd see his head, and then we would go hook up in the band room by the trombones and the clarinet.
oh
Did you ever
God.
experiment with the instruments?
No. No, surprisingly, no. Now I probably would.
Surprisingly.
I know. Now thinking about it, going back, you're probably like,
This
we should have
one
done
time
that.
at band camp.
As the movie's on right
Yeah,
now.
as the movie's playing in our background.
So yeah, that's what I eventually found out over time. But going a week later, I was living in Holbrook at the time, and he was in West Babylon. So I was having my cousins over, a couple other people, our friends, whatever. We're having a party, and I didn't invite him at the time because the
Well,
guys
he just cheated on you. So
Well, that and at the time, the guys that all my cousins were really good friends with, they weren't like good at the time. They were beefing, I guess. Yeah, like fighting, whatever. So I was like, all right, let me have like a separate like party with my cousins and my friends, like hang out. You do what you got to do, yada, yada, yada. So eventually, like I found out that he went to this girl he used to go to high school with. He went to her party. She always used to have parties in the summer. Didn't think anything of it, whatever. I'm partying with my cousins and he's partying with his friends. Then the next day I go to his house. And at the time, his mom didn't like any girls or anything in the house. So we would always like hang out either in his garage or the front step. And
keeping it classy.
keeping it,
Stoop kids.
and at this point, it's fucking winter. And we're in our heavy ass jackets, just chilling in the fucking garage, like kissing, like all this stuff. So he goes, all right, give me a second. I have to go to the bathroom. So he goes inside, leaves his phone. At this point, like, all right, he's already cheated on me before. Let me snoop through his phone and see what else I find.
Don't you love doing that?
I do. Like,
I
right?
surprisingly never went through one of my men's phones.
Like, I used to do that all the time. Like, even when he was, like, sleeping, I would, like, creep up and, like,
And
grab
you
his
didn't
phone.
have any fucking passwords on it at that age.
Yeah.
They were, like,
or, like, if
Blackberry.
he...
No, this
yeah.
is like 15 years ago.
Yeah,
probably.
this is like no iPhones,
Exactly.
Blackberries, like the fucking flip phones.
Like,
Yeah.
I used to look through his phone, like, 24/7.
probably
Now
like a
I go
Razor
back...
phone.
Yeah, now I go back and, like, I'm like, I could care less. Look at his phone or what he does, all this shit. So, whatever. So, I go through his phone. You know, I'm young, whatever. And I find out he's texting somebody that was at the party he was friends with for a very long time, since, like, 5th or 6th grade. And they're texting back and forth, and she's like, I feel bad about yesterday. Are you going to tell your girlfriend? Yada, yada, yada. So, I'm looking at all these text messages. Basically that they hooked up.
and that's a kick in the stomach because
And-
I've seen text messages like that with one of my exes.
oh yeah,
and
yeah.
it
you
was
feel
like
like your stomach's being punched in.
That's exactly how I felt. Like, I'm like shaking. I'm like trying not to cry, like whatever. So he comes back outside. At first I don't say anything. And then 5 minutes go by and I have his phone in my hand and I'm like, what's this? And he's like, what do you mean? Like nothing happened. Like every time like I catch him, he's always like, oh, that wasn't that about that this
Yeah,
and that,
deny till you
whatever.
die.
Yeah, exactly. Kept denying and
narcissist.
denying and denying. Then eventually I find that whatever. At this point I'm like, all right, let's take a break. Like I can't do this. Like I need you. Like whatever. He's 14. Like I don't know. Like either
I
don't.
love the fact that he's 14.
Well, oh wait. At
He's
this
15 now.
point he's 15 now.
And
I forgot.
He's such
Yeah.
a player at 14, 15 years old.
I know. So I'm like, all right, whatever. He's young. Like I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to stick it where he
I
could.
Still
I
doing
don't know.
karaoke to like Backstreet Boys at 14.
I had
Seriously, no, we
braces
really were.
and a slicked back ponytail and played sports. Let me tell you, I was not hooking up with anyone.
I had fucking Indian beads on my belt with jorts and a sweatshirt that had this big lobster on it. So thank God I never had braces. I was ugly enough.
I had braces. Every one of me and my two sisters had braces. My brother was the one that didn't braces.
And then
I
there's
was like,
this
"Must
dude
be."
like fuckboying it up before fuckboy was a term. With,
Seriously, no, really.
He's on his neck, no lobster sweatshirt, like Rico Suave with one pube on his balls.
So whatever. So like the first, so like that was like the first, that was it. I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Like if we keep going and like I find more shit out and I'm falling more in love with you, I'm like, I can't do this. Like I can't like bring myself to
Yeah, who
like
the fuck
love
would
you.
want
Like
to?
exactly. So whatever. At this point, like we took a break and then we took a break for like a month and a half, and then of course he's coming back begging for me. Please come back. I'm so sorry. This will never happen again. Yada yada yada. So whatever, we get back together. A couple of years go by, and I mean, I didn't let him have sex with me for like 6 months into the relationship. So that's probably why he was probably horny 15-year-old, and just wanted to stick it where he wanted to stick it, and because I wasn't giving him shit,
I don't go somewhere else.
and every time we hung out as friends, he's like, "Oh, when are you gonna let him hit? Like when is it happening?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, all right. So now in my head, I'm thinking, okay, like he's wants to hit it and quit it, like whatever. So I'm like waiting.
Yeah, sometimes you got to test them.
Exactly.
You know,
I waited
whether
like
they
6.
really wanna be.
Yeah, it was like 6 or 7 months before I even let him have sex with me. So whatever. We finally have sex. A couple years go by, and I find out I'm pregnant. So I'm like, all right.
How old were you at that point?
I was 20. I was
He was
20.
16, 17.
He was 17.
Okay.
No, maybe 17, 18, around there. So he was young, obviously. And at first I was like, okay, we both agreed for me to get an abortion. So whatever. So I go make an appointment or whatever, and I get to the clinic and they tell me that I'm too far along
Whoa.
to get one. Yeah. So whatever. So I start crying. I go to my mom. I start crying to her. And like my
How
sister,
far along did you know you were even pregnant?
I think I
It
was
was like 5 months, I think, when you realized.
found out?
when I realized, I think it was like 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
I thought it was like 5.
And I don't know how at the time I didn't realize, I'm not getting my period, like all
Sometimes your
this
life
stuff.
just goes on, and when you're that young, like time
just don't
flies.
realize,
And
yeah.
a lot of times, like even when I was that young, I was very irregular too. Like I wouldn't have it for 3 months, and then I would have it for like a month straight. So I also think like when you're that
true, yeah.
young too, like you're not fully regular yet. Like you're just partying, you're living your life, and you just don't even have a clue. The craziest is some people that are 7 months along and then they don't realize that they're pregnant.
Exactly.
Or
So-
they just end up in the hospital with severe stomach pains, and then they're like, "Oh, well, you're giving birth," and they
Right,
had no
right.
idea.
But I
Yeah.
also feel like those people are obese, so they don't realize the weight gain that they put on. Like I know people that that's happened. The fucking biller at my job, her husband didn't even know she was pregnant until 8 months. She finally told him and laughed about it.
Oh my god!
And all of us at work were like, yo, we just thought she was getting fat because it didn't carry like a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just see her eating bolognese every single day. And like, we're like, dude, she's getting big.
like I had like a pouch or whatever, but like I've always had that like stomach, ever since I was like maybe like 16, 17, whatever. So I've always had that stomach. So it didn't like click in my head yet, because I'm like, all right, whatever, I'm just gaining a little weight.
Right, drinking. Were you
Drink-
still
yeah.
drinking at the time?
we were drinking
We
every
were-
weekend.
Yeah, we were drinking. Yeah, we were. I was still drinking. I was smoking cigarettes at the time. Like I had no fucking idea.
Right.
So whatever. So I ended up telling him, and he's like, "All right." Like we were nervous. So like I told my parents right away because my sister, I already had a niece. You know, my sister got pregnant at 16.
Okay.
So like at this point, they're like, "All right, like let's
Join
just
the
deal
club.
with it." Yeah, let's just deal with it. Whatever. Yada yada yada. He was nervous to tell his parents. Like he didn't want to tell them at all. So I was like, no, we need to tell your mom, like, whatever, like, this is like serious. Like, and he's like, no, I'm not doing it. So
Is he just
I'm like,
gonna hide
okay.
it from his mom for,
Yeah.
like, forever?
I guess. I don't know. So like every time I went to the house, I had to wear sweatshirts. Like his brother would like hint to it and his mom would just like be oblivious. Like we were in his living room one time and all of them were drinking or whatever. And his mom's like, oh, like have a drink or whatever. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm like tired, like blah, blah, blah. So his brother made a comment and was like, oh yeah, she can't because she's pregnant. Because he knew at the time. And then she like just starts laughing. Like it was like, ha, like whatever. Like went
Yeah,
over her
little
head,
did you
didn't
know, bitch.
Yeah. Didn't think anything of it. Whatever. So my mom's planning my baby shower. And I was said to him, I was like, all right, now we have to tell your mom. Because I'm planning a baby shower. I want her there, blah, blah, blah. And he still refused to tell her.
Oh my god.
So I couldn't even
Religious?
invite.
Or just old school?
Yeah, they're religious.
Okay.
So whatever. So I listened to him. I said, whatever. I had this baby shower. Couldn't invite her. The next day was his little sister's birthday. So we're all getting ready. I'm in her room getting ready. All of a sudden she comes in her room and goes, "Are you pregnant?" Looks me dead in the face.
The mom did that?
His mom, yes.
Oh shit.
I go, "What?" And she was like, "Are you pregnant?" Yes
You
or
can't
no?
lie to her,
Yeah, and I couldn't lie, of course. So I was like, "Yeah." So she starts crying, flipping out, calls his dad, but his dad lives in Florida.
Okay.
Like he's far away. There's nothing really he can do. Like, what is he gonna do? Fly here in 2 hours and like,
Right.
you know. So whatever. So his parents are upset. Whatever. Then that makes him upset. He goes in the bathroom. I follow him. He's crying. Like all this stuff. Whatever. So whatever. I give birth now 10 years later. She just turned 10. And they're in love with her. You know, like it's
Of
just
course,
like,
of
you know, of
course.
course they're
Well, it's
they're
the
upset
initial
at
thing,
first.
especially when their kid is so young.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
17 for him is fucking young, and they feel like he's gonna throw his life away. And
Mm-hmm.
it's you know when you're that much of a kid, having a kid, your whole life is either you're done basically.
Yeah,
you know your
exactly.
whole life has changed.
And then his mom was like, "Oh, why didn't you tell me?" And then I was like, "Well, we didn't know what we wanted to do." And then she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "We were thinking about giving her up."
And especially if she's really religious.
Exactly. Yeah. And then all of a sudden turns around and goes, "You're not doing that."
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Okay, so we're keeping her then," and whatever. So whatever. So it was
Ended up
touch
being
and
for
go.
the best,
Yeah, it
but-
was touch and go for a little bit with his parents because, like I said, mine were fine. I mean, they weren't fine with it, but you know,
Accepting.
It is what it
Accepting.
is.
Yeah,
Like, what are you
exactly.
gonna do at this point?
So whatever, and yeah, now his dad even messaged him the other day, or like they were on the phone or whatever. It was like a month ago, and he tells him that, "Oh, my granddaughter's getting too big. I need another grandchild." I go, all right, congratulations. It's not going to be from me. So I don't know if you have another kid
Yeah.
out there that's going to give you another grandchild, but no. But yeah, so
Let's start getting into why he's not getting another grandchild from you.
okay, so yeah, so let's get into that. All right, so whatever, like we had a good sex life for about like 10 years. I mean, like we still had a good sex life after we had a kid. But now it's just like non-existent. It's maybe like I don't like the last time we had sex this beginning of this month. But before that it was in February.
That's fair.
So now
Damn.
you're saying, so I don't even know how many months that is. February, March, April. That's 3 months without sex. And I always like make a comment. I'm like, oh, like you never touch me. You never do this, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, don't stop acting like I never touch you. I never like love you, blah, blah. I'm like, you don't,
But you don't, though.
but you don't. Like even last night, like we were both drinking, whatever. We lay in the bed or whatever, and I go to turn and like touch him, and he pushes me off. He's like, come on. So I'm like, okay. So I literally turned the other way and fell asleep.
What man is turning down sex though?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. That's why like I said, I've gone through his phone before, but now, like at this point, I'm like, whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Else? Because we're gonna be real here. Like whenever we say this, and not you specifically, but just in general.
In general, yeah.
When a guy's not giving his wife, his girlfriend, whatever sex, they're getting it from somebody else.
That's what's going through my mind right now. And I
Right.
always
they're
ask
getting
him
it from somebody else.
Yeah. And I always ask him, are you cheating on me? Are you getting it from, and he's always telling me no. Like, obviously,
But
like,
he said
I don't
no
know.
since he was 14.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So that's what
When he was
in my
getting
head.
hickeys on the school stairwell.
Exactly. So like in my mind, I'm like, is he cheating? Like, I don't know.
Do you
like,
care?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Like in the past, like what, like
I think it bothers you, but I don't
it
think
does.
I think it's more of like, how dare you do that than like maybe him, because I don't know. Me personally, if I'm not having sex with my partner, there's a very huge disconnect in our relationship.
Right.
yeah.
So
Like at this point, I feel like we're just like roommates, and then like I get whenever he wants to have sex, he'll have sex with me. But like 3 months, like the 3 month time span, like that's not like what I want in a relationship. I don't want.
who the fuck would?
Yeah. I want to fucking have sex as much as I fucking can. We live together. We're in the same bed every single fucking night.
Yeah.
And we're not doing anything. We're just, and then when I ask him, oh, I'm tired. Or
That's what they
like,
all say.
I've worked all day, blah, blah. Or even if I get my period, I'm like, he'll like make a comment, oh, tonight was a night. Like, I'm like, yeah.
That's called
But
manipulation
then all
at its
other
finest.
fucking 25 days of the month,
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
the night. But that one fucking night,
He always like
'Cause
makes
he's-
that comment.
he's
Like I'll
trying
be
to
like,
manipulate you.
Yeah, like I'll be like, oh shit, I got my. He was like, oh tonight would have been the night. That sucks. Blah blah blah.
no,
I'm
just
like,
don't even
yeah.
tell him then. Don't
Yeah.
even tell him and just bleed all over his dick. Be like, sorry, I didn't know. Or be like, do you want to have shower sex tonight?
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
I know.
And then just be like,
I love shower sex.
oopsies, I didn't realize it's down the drain anyway.
Exactly. But like, yeah, like I want to, like I love him. Like I want to be with him. I see a future. And I just want that intimacy. Cause like, who doesn't?
But do you
But-
think that he's capable of giving it to you at this point? Like, you guys been together for so long.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like last night when I tried and he pushed me away, like it's just like irritating kind of because like
It makes you feel so unsexy.
Exactly, like-
When and it has nothing to do with us as women, but that's how it makes us feel if we're denied sex.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Exactly.
because what man doesn't want sex? Once in a while, maybe you're depressed or, you worked all day and you're tired. Once
You're
in a
too drunk, whatever.
Right. Once in a blue moon, that's fine. But come on, consistently for 3 months?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
no.
like
There's
you're-
something else going on there, whether he's got somebody else or he's got hormone issues or something like that.
Yeah. It's just like you're sleeping next to a girl every single night and you don't want to do anything. I just
Right.
don't like that's not a guy's
not normal.
mentality,
It's not a guy's
mentality, and it's not
mentality.
normal at all.
And what guy's gonna turn down a blowjob? Let's
Exactly.
Be real here.
I'll wake up sometime. I'm like, you want morning head? No, it's okay.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
no
that-
guy's gonna turn down a fucking
Exactly. So
blowjob.
I'm like,
I don't
that's
care who it's from.
like weird to me. Like, and
It
I
could
don't
be
want to
from
be
Rumpelstiltskin, and they're not gonna turn down a fucking blowjob.
exactly.
Literally.
And I don't want to be the girl again to go through his phone and search, like, because I just don't want to see something that I don't want to see.
Right, because you're gonna find it.
Yeah. Either like if I'm not gonna like I don't want to like think that he's
Also-
doing that, but also that's always like in my head.
So there's so many things to misread in a phone. Like, I'm gonna be straight. Like, if somebody went through my phone, it would be bad. And there's nothing going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even my coworker, like, we call each other honey boo boo or like sweet cheeks or something like that.
Yeah.
And the guy's like a 500-pound Indian man. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing going on.
Yeah. Plus,
But,
we
like,
also get dick pics
Oh.
from Seaborn
Yeah,
and all
Alex
these
and
people.
I get wiener
boy.
pictures up the fucking
Micro.
ass. So if
Yeah.
anybody went through our DMs and saw like dick pics and they'd be like, what? Like,
yeah.
But like, how do you explain it? Like, this random guy just sends me random dick pics and like, that's it. And they were like, no, nobody would believe that.
Yeah, no.
But like, we got one the other day and they're like, tell your friends how my wiener is. I'm like, my friends say it's gross and so is your bush. But like, I have no idea who this person is.
We've been getting
I can't.
so many unsolicited dick pics lately.
Yeah, to anybody listening that's sending us unsolicited dick pics, I don't know if we want to keep them coming so we can make fun of you or just stop.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm torn.
sometimes it's entertaining.
It's fucking entertaining.
So, but we're like a rare breed. Like a lot of like women would be like so offended, and we're like, yeah, like look at your small little Oscar Mayer wiener dick.
Our friend Jamie was like, I can't believe he did that. I blocked him and I reported him. We're just like, haha, your wiener's small. Sorry, off topic. But like, yeah, going through your phone is you're gonna find something that you don't want to
yeah,
find,
exactly.
and you're also gonna find something that could be completely misstrued, where it's like you're gonna read into something and it's not what it is.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
one time, like when I was, living with my ex or whatever, he had, a drug issue, and I was venting to one of my friends about it, and she didn't really like know what to say, and she was just like, well, why couldn't he just be a Jets fan? Because like we love the Giants. And he like read it and was like so offended and was like, oh, that's what she thinks, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, first of all, why are you going through my phone? Second of all, that's a harmless comment.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But he took it because he was on the defense,
Right, right.
obviously.
Yeah.
But
That's like
so-
the dumbest thing to fucking take offense to. It's obviously a joke.
But if somebody said that to his face, he would have probably laughed.
Right.
But because you're reading these
Reading
messages
stuff.
and me venting about it and then him taking it, whatever, kind of off topic, but
No, yeah, that's just
Phone
there's
gets
something
misconstrued.
I just don't want to like. I don't want to even bother. Like, I don't want to be that girlfriend again. Like, waking up in the middle of the night and hearing his phone and then going through it. Like, I don't.
And you know what, Amanda? You shouldn't even have to, though. Like, you should have security in your relationship. If he's not giving that to you,
Then walk.
yeah.
I know.
So
It's
how
just-
do you want to make this work? Because it's clearly not working right now.
I definitely want to communicate with him about it. Like, I've had before, but he kind of just like brushes it off. Like, oh, like I love you, like all this stuff. Like, even like the other day, like he still follows his like ex-girlfriends and stuff on Instagram and stuff like that. And I just think it's weird. And like
I do too.
the other day, like he liked one of his ex-girlfriend's selfies. So I texted him because he was at the gym at this point, and I texted him and I'm like, really, you're just gonna keep doing this, blah, blah, blah. And he texts me back and he's like, relax, don't worry, they're the past, you're the future. And like when he says stuff like that, I'm like, okay, I'm the future, but like you're not doing anything about it. You're still not having sex with me. You're like not communicating like the way I want to communicate. Like, are we gonna get married? Are you gonna propose anytime soon? Or am I wasting my time? And
But would you want to be married to somebody that's not giving you anything sexually?
No,
I think
not
sex
at all.
Is a huge part of a fucking
Definitely.
relationship.
Hell,
and if you're not
yeah.
getting your physical needs met along with communication, what's the point of even staying in anything?
Exactly.
It's
and then
huge.
yeah. And we've been together for 13 years, but when we do have sex, like it's good. It's still good. Like
It's not just routine.
it's not just routine. Like it's still good. Like we're still like, he's gotten toys before for us, like when we went on
what's up.
vacation and stuff like that. Like we use like stuff and like it's still good. Like I'm not saying like, we've been together for so long that it's just like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
like
and it's
no, like
faded
I enjoy.
out.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoy it every single time, and it's just not constant. Like how like I want it. Like I'm not horny every single fucking day. Like I mean,
once every 3 months is
but
like,
yeah. Exactly. Like even especially when I'm drinking, like I want dick. Like I just like that's just like my mentality. Like I
hear that.
need to be touched and like I don't know.
Would he be open to therapy or no?
I mean, I never asked about it. I
feel
could,
like you
know,
should.
I could communicate with him
If you,
more
like,
about it.
I feel
to
like
see.
if you want something to work and it's not working with just you two, I think therapy is such a good way to like make situations work, or at least to try to make them work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like if he still doesn't do anything about it, it's like, okay, well, we've exhausted every possible resource. You
Right.
clearly don't give a shit,
And it's not
I
working.
need to move on.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I want to be with him. I want to, enjoy my life with him because like when we're good, we're good. Like
But I'm going to ask something. Do you think that maybe he's the only one that you've known for so long that you're so used to it and it's a comfort thing that you're almost afraid to reach out and branch out to somebody else?
I mean, at times, yeah, but then at other times, not really, because I've been with other people in between. Like we've been together for 13 years, but we've broken up, gotten back together, broken up, gotten back for like, and I've had people in between, and to go back
Somehow
to
you
being,
always find your way back to him.
exactly,
And the no dick.
yeah, exactly.
Because
Like I've had a whole other ass relationship where I went out with this other kid for like 4 months, like, and then of course when he found out that we broke up, he wanted to get back together again. Like he was like, all right, like,
Well, that's the narcissist behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't want you, but no one else
but
is
no
going to
one
have
else
you
can.
either.
Exactly. That's how I think that's how he thinks sometimes. And like going back to when I was pregnant, he didn't think it was his. And I mean, we were broken up, and then I had sex with somebody else. And then when we got back together, I found out I was pregnant. So like at the time, he like didn't think it was his. And then like in my mind, I'm like, is it, or is it this other kid that I was having sex
the
with?
only way.
So, but then like I just let it go, and I'm like, all right, no, for sure, it definitely is. And then I found out later on that him and his family got a paternity test behind my back.
Oh, really?
Yes. And he ended up calling me that day, and he was like, I wasn't supposed to tell you, but just to let you know that we got a paternity test. Because like when she was little, everybody kept saying, oh my God, she looks just like the mom, doesn't look like you. Like it got to his head. Like,
Right.
but like she didn't have to look like him, like right then and there. She's still little. Like she don't look like anybody.
She looks
I
like
don't
a
know. I might
potato.
have gone-
Exactly. Like you don't
all
like you don't
kids
look
like
like
a potato or magoo.
Exactly.
People are always like,
you
what do
don't-
you think? Who do you think they look like? I'm like, I don't friggin' know.
Exactly.
They
Like
look
you
like
don't
an
know at the
alien.
time.
Like,
Literally,
chill.
it's like a goblin just shot out of your vajayjay. I'm supposed to
Exactly.
see who it looks
Exactly.
like.
But at
Kids
the
are
time,
fucking ugly.
Yeah, but at the time, like his friends always like got in his head, so he was like, all right, maybe it isn't mine. And like at first, I was contemplating if it was or not, because like I said, I was having sex with somebody else when we were broken up before then. So I was like, all right. But then in my head, I'm like, no, it's definitely his, like blah, blah, blah. So whatever. So they got the paternity test, obviously came back. It was like 99.9997 or something like that. I don't even know. But then because on the phone, he was like, yeah, he was like, we got one. And just to let you know, if the kid's not mine, I'm leaving you or whatever.
What a threat.
fine.
Yeah, right. All right. I should have been like bye at the time, because now my needs aren't being met. So, but no, I do love him. I do want to be with him, but I just definitely need to communicate with him more about like I don't know. If I have to masturbate for the rest of my life, then whatever. But I'd rather
why-
not.
but why
I'd rather
accept
not.
that?
I'd
Why
rather
accept
not if
that?
I'm sleeping
Fuck
next
that.
to my boyfriend every single night. Like just give me something. I don't know, but it's just
Slip a finger in, for God's sake.
exactly like just touch it for like 2 seconds and that's it. Like I don't care. Like
So I'm
something.
all about speaking up for your needs, especially sexually. Like if you're not getting your physical needs met, I walk.
Yeah.
I walk, because there's no point in staying around when you're not getting what you need. And it's not like, it's not like asking for something so crazy. Like they're not taking me to Thailand every single month and they're not buying me Chanel's or something
Right.
like that. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I want you to stick your dick in me like once a week.
Exactly.
I think it's
It's like
really
if-
not that hard for a guy to do.
And if you're attracted to me, you should want to do it. Why am I
Exactly.
having to force
Exactly.
you?
And especially if I go in the shower and I don't bring my towel and I'm walking around naked in our apartment, like, and you just like look over and I'm like, you're like, oh, okay. Like
So there's
Like, no, just jump
yeah.
on top of me while I'm fucking naked already. Like, that's like, you don't have to take my clothes off or anything. Like,
So there's
I've already
clearly
done it for
something
you.
going on with him, whether it is somebody else, or whether it's some hormonal level
Yeah.
or something, but you
Mental,
gotta, you know, sometimes like guys go through depressive states or whatever.
Sometimes
where
I think it's that too, but then other times I'm like, okay, maybe.
there's another bitch.
Yeah.
There's another bitch.
there's
But
someone
he's
else.
not going to tell
Yeah.
you and you're not looking for it. And it's like sometimes you just don't fucking want to know.
No, yeah, of course.
But I do
don't-
think that
yeah.
there you have to speak up for what you need and what you want, and like really like verbally say it sometimes. And if it's not met, then like you're gonna find somebody else. Because I know so many people that are like, you know, it didn't work out with this person, and then I met somebody else and they're so wonderful, and now I realize like all the things that I do need and want. And like, I feel like too you're kind of set in this because you guys have a kid together, because you've been together for so long, that it's almost like a comfort level too.
Yeah,
And not
exactly.
saying that it's not meant to be, because you guys have been together for so long that there's obviously a connection. But I also think that if you're not getting what you need in a relationship, you're going to find somebody that's going to fulfill those needs.
Exactly.
Or be like comfortable to be so independent that you're okay on your own for a little bit.
Exactly. But yeah, I just want that intimacy, really. That's
doesn't
really the
want
only
that in a
thing. That's really the
relationship?
only thing I'm complaining about. Like we're you know, we talk and we have fun together sometimes. What we
Sometimes.
laugh.
I'm kidding.
I'm saying
you
like
guys
if
are
it's
best
good,
friends.
yeah,
Let's put it that way.
he's one of my best friends. Like when we're good, we're good. If we're fighting, like whatever, we get into a couple arguments every now and then. But who
Well,
doesn't?
a couple doesn't fucking
Yeah,
fight.
exactly. That the only thing I'm looking for more is the intimacy. That's really the only complaint I have.
And it's not asking for much.
It's really not.
It's really not.
No.
So how do you get to that level then? I feel like you have to just be open with him about
Definitely.
it and ask him and sit him and like have a conversation. Like some people find it so awkward to have sexual conversations. I don't.
I don't.
I'm like, this is what I need in a relationship. Let's try this. Let's try that. Like, let's spice it up this way, you know, this is what I need.
Yeah,
This is
and
what
if
I
you
want.
and I was like, so yeah, so I'm like to him, like I'll sit him down, like if you're seeing somebody else, let me know, like then it's done. Like
But do you
if
think
you're,
he's gonna tell you?
I don't know, like if he doesn't
If
want to
he
be with me
lied-
and he's with somebody else, like
But
I
if
just
he lied
need to.
about it when he was 14. What makes you think he's when he like
Yeah.
didn't know any better? What makes
Exactly.
you think he's gonna admit it now? And I'm not
I
trying
don't
to
know.
be rude or anything.
No,
I'm
not at
just
all. Like, I
honest
know.
with, you know, because I also feel like he's content with. And again, I don't know. I know nothing. I don't know. We could find out if you want us to.
You know how we do.
Alex and I could totally find out if there is somebody else, what her name is, what town she's from, what
Her
moon
mom's
sign
birthday.
is. Yeah, what her
Shit,
social security number is.
if that's the case, then sure, yeah.
What her sun sign
Follow
is.
him to work and see if he actually goes
what
to
her
work.
fucking grandma Gertrude's favorite food is. Like I can
Where
find-
she's buried, the exact place of her burial plot. Like,
I can find out anything you want me to. It's scary.
I don't know. Like I'll try to, communicate with him and
yeah.
see if he tells me the truth. He tells me the truth, and I move on. And if not, then I will demand more sex. I don't know what it is.
But you got to do it in a way that's like a communicative, is that a word? Communicative, talkative way. Like not demanding it.
No,
because
yeah,
then
of
they're
course. Mm-hmm.
going to feel threatened. It's almost just like, I don't know, maybe put on some fucking lingerie and crotchless panties and like get some fun stuff.
His mom always says that too to me. He was like,
Yeah.
she was like, spice it up a little. Like his mom
Crotchless panties, yeah.
is always like, spice it up. That's what I do in my relationship. Like his mom's getting more than I am, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, like cool.
Or like
must be
role
nice.
play or fucking whatever. I don't know. All
Yeah.
about like new things to like make it so not like monotonous. And even though you say it's not monotonous, it's still fun with the toys and everything. But just like literally get some new lingerie, crotchless panties, crotchless bra, and like bust it out and just walk around one
I
day.
think
and bend
I
over.
need to
Or like
start
a little
doing that.
like apron, like a nurse's costume or something like that, and be like, hey.
how are you feeling?
Definitely need
Yeah.
to spice it
Want
up.
me to take your temperature?
Yeah, and just like walk over to
Rectally?
him. And then if he says not now, then fucking walk out of the house and be done. Be like, you know what? Fuck you. I spent $100 on this. We're done.
Yeah, get the dildo that's sitting in my closet right now. Probably
Invest in a
has
Sybian.
Probably
at
has
that
dust
point.
all
Yeah.
over it. I gotta clean that shit off because
Yup.
it's just been rotting in my closet.
No way.
It's the spiders have made it their home now. You can't have it back.
The spiders and crickets have just been chilling on it. But yeah,
All right.
that's
so
really about it.
Thanks for coming on and telling us about it. Of
course.
If any of our listeners want to give any advice, if you've been in a similar situation, write in, let us know. And before we close out, Confession Corner.
All right, first confession. Ooh. You know what? I kind of get this one. I wish I were a guy so I could jerk off. I've talked to many of my friends about it, and they just think it's weird, but it's true. I only want to be a guy so I can experience what it's like to jerk off, and that's it. For some odd reason, I find myself thinking about it probably more than I should. Is that bad or weird? I'm going to be straight. I've said this for a while that I want to be a guy for a day just so I could like sling my wiener around.
Like the elephant.
I said that too before also.
The helicopter.
Do the fucking helicopter. I would smack a bitch in the face with it. I would like orgasm in 5 seconds. Like honestly, I would want like a day or two just to be a guy, but then go back to being me. Like I wouldn't want to Freaky Friday it and like not be able to transform back. But I've definitely said how fun it would be to just have a dick for like a day or two.
I could see that.
I said that before too.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I get this. I feel like it's very common for girls to think like that. And then I also feel like it's also common for guys to think that too, where like I feel like guys would want to have a pussy for a day, but then they wouldn't want to deal with the
No,
periods
they
and
would
the
never.
cramps.
Yeah,
Oh my
the
God,
guys
no.
have it good. Yeah, we have to get pregnant. We get our periods. We have to do our hair, shave our legs, our fucking vaginas,
Right?
like
It's so
everything.
much
And then
fucking
guys
maintenance.
just go into the shower, scrub their hair, their fucking balls, and
They
that's
use
it.
fucking
They're good.
body wash for their faces. And then they're done.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
like we have to do so much.
Like 10-step routine.
Right.
Yep.
And then if we don't wear makeup, it's like,
Are you
not
feeling okay?
good? Like, do you not feel good? One of the guys at my job, I just didn't feel like putting makeup on the other day. He goes, let's not let this happen again.
Oh my God.
And he's such a fucking egg that it's kind of funny coming from him because he's like so like bleh. But like the last person that should be saying it, but I was cracking up. I was like, fuck you.
Okay, guys, next one. I was happy when I caught my girlfriend cheating on me. I loved her and had no intentions of ever ending the relationship, but she had health problems. I knew that things were going to be rough in 10 to 20 years when they would start to become unmanageable. When I came home unannounced one day and caught her in the act with another guy, I was shocked and then secretly happy. I had been given a get out of jail free card. I could end the relationship and get pity from everyone.
I get that.
I get that too.
I get that. I mean, if it's going to end anyway, you might as well fucking end it early and then like it's not on them.
Right, exactly.
other
So he like
person.
won in the end,
I know.
basically.
I would like probably send some really like fucking hot person to like trap them and be like, well, they cheated.
Yeah, right.
Get out of jail free.
I would act like I was so upset though. I'd be like, how could you do this to me?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah.
Like a fake slap, like
Yeah.
it's over, like, and then like stomp away.
Exactly.
Do a fake cry and then go like shopping for Chanel.
On his credit card because I still have it.
And then put him on Craigslist
Yep.
for cheating to act like I don't feel like,
Yeah.
to act like I'm sad.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for coming on. Again, if anybody
You're very
has
welcome.
any write-ins, advice, anything like that, we're like the worst with relationship advice, Alex and I. So we're just like,
I know. Look at us.
no, we're literally just like, fuck him, dump him, move on.
Yeah.
That's like my relationship advice. Like if it's not working, walk. But like instead of like trying to make it work because you guys have been together for like 14 years.
Yeah, I know. We shall see what happens.
So write into us, guys. Follow us on Instagram, Disappointed But Not Surprised. Oh, before we close, I just want to say something.
Yes.
Fuck you, TikTok. Fuck you, TikTok.
TikTok sucks.
TikTok can suck my left nut if I fucking had ball sacks. Seriously. So we posted a video from last week of us shooting the neighbor's house, Alex's neighbor, with the fucking potato launcher. It was potatoes. We didn't hit anybody.
He
We
wasn't
hit the tree.
outside.
He kind of was outside
He was?
for a little bit. Yeah, remember? Like, and then the dad came outside.
Oh, well, yeah, the
You
dad.
were wasted.
Yeah, of course I was. Of course.
Alex is like,
Not
"Fuck
surprised."
with me again, bitch. Boom. But like TikTok permanently banned us.
Yeah, we had to
Wow.
make a new account.
We had to make a new account. So now so we were DBNS Podcast. Now we're Podcast DBNS on TikTok and Twitter. TikTok can suck a fucking dick.
Worst social media platform ever invented.
Worst.
Just saying.
Honestly.
Vine would have never done that to us.
Vine,
Just
would
Vine.
saying.
Oh my God, I miss
done that.
Vine.
Vine was the best. We used to post
I miss
videos
that.
all the time of our coworker coming out of the bathroom
Shitting?
taking her fucking massive shit of the day.
Yes, those
we
are
had the
great.
nastiest coworker ever. She would literally come out of the bathroom like, hee hee hee, I
And would
love eggs,
stink
but
the
they
entire
don't love
hall.
me. And her stockings would come off. She would shit so profusely.
Oh
She
my
would
God,
like be
that's
holding them in her
disgusting.
hand. Our manager over the PA would be like, it's 3:00, the stockings are off. And she'd be like, hee hee hee, don't go in there. So we kept on making Vine videos of Alex and
I
I
miss
like
Vine.
dying, literally like on the ground, like with a funeral.
yes.
Because we died from like
Screaming toxic fumes, evacuate.
from like asphyxiation.
Oh my
so
God.
Vine would have never done that. TikTok can suck a dick, but our Instagram is disappointed but not surprised. Our Facebook is disappointed but not surprised pod, and our Twitter and our TikTok is podcast DBNS. And guys, go follow our partners. Pass the Gravy podcast. They're
Yep.
hysterical. You can find us and them on iTunes, on Spotify, YouTube, etc. Oh, and they have a brand new beer line, so go and buy their beer.
Oh, I'll buy it.
Right? Yeah, they have
Hell
a
yeah.
commercial. You can find it. Go on their social media, Pass the Gravy pod, and then you can buy their new beer.
Sounds
I'll get some
good.
for Alex. She'll get wasted and do a fucking review.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Perfect.
See you next week. Brr.
Disappointed but not surprised. Disappointed but not surprised. Disappointed but not surprised.